Alright, let's go back to the issue. Everybody's born differently. Whether they have abnormalities, cancer, bow-legged, bucktooth, whatever deficiency or abnormality they have. Um, Religious people's answer, it's because God wanted you to be that way. And apparently to them it's just God picks random people to be this way, to have whatever you have, scoliosis, whatever, heart disease, whatever. Let me give you a better answer. It has to do with one, genetics, your family history. If your family has this kind of, or your grandparents, or great-grandparents, chances are you might have it. It's randomness, it really is. The way you're born, it's natural selection. But the mutation is what causes the differences and variances of anything part of your body. Eye color, why people have double eyes, different color eyes. I could give you a lot of reasons to doubt the existence of God. That could be one of the reasons. And then they would say, well, you can't explain everything. Well, we can explain everything, but it doesn't mean your God exists. Just for simple like that, abnormality, variances, differences, how people are born, babies born with cancer. How does that explain God did that to you? And what would the reason be? No, folks. It doesn't work that way. And like I said, we might never have the answers. And then people say, well, religious people say, well, wouldn't you want to know that God, before you die? Okay. And it's like, well, what would take you to believe in God? And I was saying, well, what happened of a manifestation of the God? Obviously that would convince people. So the religious points are not good. You're not even seeing God. You think you're seeing God. You're not. You're seeing dreams and you're reading a book and you think you have a personal experience with this invisible entity, which you call God in the book. Because when you ask them, what does it wear? What did it look like? They can't describe. The only thing they can describe is their near-death experiences. They think they've seen God. They think they'll go to heaven. But that's already been tested, and that's already been proved. That even when you're in a coma, even when you're near-death experience, you will see light. Hell, even when you had LASIK surgery, they said your eyes is gonna go totally black. It went black. Nothing. I saw nothing. And then I saw light. There you go, right there. It's just, your brain is always firing neurons. Every second, everything you do, even you just move a little, eating, boom, firing neurons. 1,000 seconds, So the near-death experiences was proven there was no God. It was tested. They determined even at near-death and coma, the brain still has function. Even when your heart goes out, your brain can still have function. It's probably like the last thing. So even when you're dead and you can brought back to life, your brain is still active, but it's in a dead phase. Because your heart just stopped. But once they do that CPR or the electric shocks, they brought the heart back to life. Technically, your brain is the last thing that goes away. Everything goes away the last thing except brain. That's why when people um, have like um, whether it's heart attack, stroke, um, you might not think your brain is active, but your brain is still active. It's the last thing. Your heart, then your brain. Because the brain is a whole connection to everything. You know how people says, my heart does no thinking. Well, correct. It doesn't do no thinking, but the brain sends signals to all parts of the body. There you go. So so even that movie's false, where the kid went to heaven. It's like dreams. People are always dreaming, having nightmares, and you're like, well, what? Why did I dream? What? That dreams just don't make any sense. Hell, I've had dreams where I've drove cars off the building, you know, went into the sky. You know, it's called REM, and rapid eye movement. When you're sleeping, dreaming, you have rapid eye movement. It signals to the brain. This is why another reason we're not born perfect. Not only that, the eye functions backwards. Um, and the birth is not the greatest mystery. It all makes sense in the process of science, as cells division and mitosis, and how this creates the baby. It's not like you're blown away. I mean, you might be blown away if you don't understand the process, but if you understand the process, it all makes sense, you know. So there's a lot of reasons to doubt God, or doubt there is a God. Like I said, we may never even know till we die how it all happened. And just like Matt Dillahunty said, you know, his parents, that's fine not knowing, you know. And he said even they had a person that says, you know, what happened if you die and there was God, and he would say, well, I tried, you know, just like everybody else. You want a proof, you wanted anything, something to come down from the heavens, or any kind of proof, extraordinary proof. And he said, well, I tried, and sorry. And he said, even if he had to go in hell, he said, like, you know, a lot of people would take the hell, a lot of atheists would take the hell if it existed, which I don't think it does, but so like if it existed, because we are all morally superior to that God in all the religions. And he said, even if it existed, he said, you know, I couldn't do anything about it. You know, I would try, but it wouldn't be right. And he said he would have a lot of questions. Um, so, like I said, you know, it might be sad. We might not ever know the whole mystery, but hey, at least we lived a good life as an atheist. We always looked for answers, and that's what all boiled. And we didn't live our life in a fear. That's how I will live my life. I think that's how everybody should live their life, because technically, both the religious side and the atheist side, they can't prove God and they can't disprove. They can't. They think they have a relationship with God, a personal experience, but it's totally diluted, like Dan Barker said. And then, so no side is really winning. The only winning would be the reason and the knowledge. And I guess you can say the atheist is the winning side, because it's based on what's real, based on science. Whereas religion is always based on faith. You know. But I think we've been incredible how far we've come from universe out of nothing to dark energy, dark matter, um, and no matter what religion, you know, just because they say you don't believe and they're scared, it's the whole reason a lot of people believe is that fear of hell. You know, they try to scare me with that. It doesn't work, man. They say, well, what happens if I hold a gun to your brain? I was like, well, why didn't you say it like that? You know, they try to put that fear into death. Well, obviously, somebody's gonna hold a gun to your brain, you're gonna be scared. I mean, It's like a gut reaction when you're burning. My brother's twisted, I guess. So. But yeah, I don't know. I think it has to do with some people are stronger than others. Um, at least a fear. Um, I just, was never took the God stuff seriously. Before I was atheist, I was like agnostic, sort of. Because I mean, I was just like, it could be and it could be not, But we've gotten to a point now where I have to be agnostic, like, because I mean, you're always told, God, there's God. I remember my mom always told me, well, God punish you, well, God will punish you. And I said to myself, okay, you just don't, I didn't never even believe that at a young age. In a sense, I guess I was always an atheist. I guess the thing is, the people that don't have that religion brought up hardcore and have that fear and scared and twisted of that people, which religion has done, it's hard for them to escape that religion. But for somebody me, like Sam Harris, or who really never had a hardcore religion or start in the family or anything, it was just second nature, just like, okay, there's a God, there's a God. Just living my life. So I had no fear. I really feel bad for that people that had that crazy religious upbringing, and those churches scared them for fear. Just scare the heart of them. It's really sad. And it doesn't matter if there was a hell and heaven at the end. The bottom line, it boils down to, it's not like if the religious people are right. The bottom line, it boils down to, we didn't see the evidence, we didn't see the proof. All we saw was this book that was written with talking snakes. A God that's totally immoral, that has divine power to do what he wanted and harm people. That's all we saw. Um, but I doubt the religious side is right. It couldn't make sense. What that God did in that Bible, it was horrendous. Checking, I mean, all the stuff that's written is written from Bronze Age. It couldn't have been written for all-knowing, omniscient, perfect, loving God. Because that God killed for no reason. Let's take the flood story. God flooded the world, right? Because all the evilness that the humans would. But guess what? The evilness was still going on in humans throughout history until now. That shows right there. That's flawed. That God, not perfect. I mean, if he had a creation, creation happened, failed, happened, failed again, happened, failed again. It's not perfect. So there's no way the religious side could be right. There's just no way. Let alone what would a DS God look like, right? The Sumerian creation was the first. But there could be maybe another creation story. Maybe there's some other world, some other planet, of all existed again. And that could be really the truth. Because if the multiverse is so huge, there had to be, or perhaps there had to be, a blueprint of how everything started. And we're talking about even when space didn't exist. Truly hard to comprehend all this. And that's why people believe the DS God. Which is, okay, it's a good point.